What's going on, folks? I'm AutoMattock. Welcome to part 2 of the Zeku survival guide, where really you're beating your opponent. They're the ones that are trying to survive because they don't know the matchup. So let's get down to brass tacks. We're gonna talk about the old and young Zeku block strings in combination of hit confirms. So the on paper, the best block string in my opinion is crouching jab, standing jab, and then confirm into like a Koku. Now on paper, I will repeat that again. On paper, I think this is the best block string, but I really don't use it that often. I don't use it that often. Not quite yet. Now you can see here when I do this crouching jab, this is actually a chained crouching jab. I have to delay it a little bit so that I can actually beat my opponent if they're matching the 3 or 4 frame. I have to delay it. I can't really link it. I have to kind of. I think it is a link actually. But if I chain it, if I mash on it, there's not going to be any room for my opponent to leave block stun. So I need to give it some space, and then I'll get the counter hit, and then I can link it to standing jab. You actually can't Koku, or excuse me, you can't bond from here. You have to do like a Koku. So yeah, on paper, I think that's the best block string, because you can also get the throw from here as well. But you cannot get standing medium punch. This is very important to know for Zeku players and Zeku's opponents. When you do standing medium punch, it's not, they can steal their turn. And this is why you need to have that crouching jab available, that throw available. So you gotta find the timing for it. And that will work without, that'll work in the beginning of the combo. You need to have a counter hit though for what I'm about to show you. If that crouching jab does counter hit, you can actually get standing medium punch. This even works against Laura matching standing jab, so that counter hit pushback is not gonna affect this particular scenario. Unless you're Birdie, I bet Birdie can. I bet Birdie has something to say about that, right? So this standing medium punch is good because it combos into medium kick techie, and if your opponent is standing, you can go into light kick techie and then light kick Koku, right? In this scenario, Colleen is actually crouching, so we'll set it up to where she'll get hit by this. Well, I'll demonstrate it first, right? There's the medium kick Koku. This is a great knockdown, as you can see on a normal recovery. 3 frame, I can do crouching jab, that'll counter hit. Again, I've talked about this scenario so many times. It's starting to get to the point where people are blocking against my Zeku. So I have to get a little bit more creative than just this knockdown here. But man, I'm telling you, if you're like in silver ranks, this is gonna carry you. This is gonna work so much. Because, you know, people like to mash. People like to mash on their fast buttons. Because you're supposed to in this game. So, now if your opponent is, if they get hit by this standing, right? We want them to get hit after first attack only. So we do crouching jab, and then there we go. If you can confirm their standing state, you can go into that like kick Koku. You get a little bit more damage. You can also get a good knockdown. What was that? A good knockdown if you just go into like a techie, and you can frame kill. I can demonstrate that real quick. I feel like it taunted me because I missed it. So I need to do. There we go. And you could potentially have something like that off of that techie if you confirm the standing state. So the only other thing, well, I guess I shouldn't say the only other thing. The other important tool for old Zeku's block strings and hit confirms, it's not really that much of a hit confirm sometimes, but it's just standing medium punch into standing medium punch. Now I suggest medium punch, and then EX Koku. EX Koku is +1 on block. Now, the reason why this is good is because standing medium punch can combo into itself on counter, right? Now, if you see that, you can choose to go into light kick techie, you can do the medium kick Koku, and you're in the same position that you were before. And in fact, you can even do EX techie, and this is great. You can combo to hard kick Koku. But this is a good block string, right? Because in between this, if they hit that 3 frame, I'll counter hit them. Now, at this point, I'm not hit confirming. I'm just doing that anyways, so I can open up other opportunities at a later point. So now if I'm doing standing medium punch, my opponent might be discouraged from mashing there. So now I can get away with doing something like standing hard punch. Standing hard punch gives me good block stun. It gives me a good way to open up the Jakura setups, kind of. It's not a perfect, this is not at all something that is undefeatable. They can jump back jab, there's anti-airs, I'm sure there's other solutions to it. But this is a great thing to do if you feel like say for example I'm in the corner, I want to get out of the corner and I've threatened them with that medium block string. Now I can give myself an escape route and then get frame advantage and corner position at the same time. So that's really good if you can get that going. Oh, I should talk about standing medium punch as a hit confirm. Just by itself, if you're close enough, you can link into standing light kick without counter hit. This is great. But you kind of have to commit. Sometimes you get a counter hit, but you're already committed to using standing light kick as a hit confirm. So you just have to go with this. I don't think you can confirm the counter hit state from here. I could be wrong. I haven't tested it that thoroughly. So you might do this instead, right? Because it's like the opposite. You were trying to confirm off of a counter hit, but it didn't happen. So yeah, those are two great things you can do off of that standing medium punch. Alright, so the last thing we'll talk about with old Zeku is standing hard punch. Now this move is great. Just for the reasons I described earlier. If you go into that Jakura, it sets you up pretty well for left, right, switch sides, throw, or the throw from the Jakura. This thing here. That's great. You get +2 off of this knockdown. But if you go into the stance change, you are also +1 as young Zeku. So if you do a crouching jab, at this time, you will counter hit them for doing their 3-frame. Off of this counter and crouching jab, you can go into crouching medium punch. And from there, you can go into the front slide, or you can go into the EX Horizontal. I think that's about it. Yeah, that's about it. You can also hit confirm into super. This is okay. Yep. And if you watch the video about the vicious option select, or is it? It's about standing hard punch. It'll tell you all you need to know about option selecting this counter hit thing. It's a little bit too much to get into detail with. But basically, you get something like this, and you do the same meaty crouching hard punch. It's a great knock. That's a really good knockdown, really good situation. So we're going to talk about young Zeku off of that standing hard punch. Excuse me. Young Zeku. Oh boy. I just had to check over. I had to do my mid-video is my microphone muted. my moment there. Okay. So off of that +1, we just saw that crouching jab will counter hit them when you're +1. The same situation is true for young Zeku's crouching medium punch. This is also +1 on block. So from here, you kind of have to use that crouching jab to get that counter hit right here. Now against 4-frame characters, you can use that standing medium punch, just like with old Zeku. You can use standing medium punch here, but not against someone like Colleen. Off of the crouching medium punch. On the crouching jab, it will work. This is +2. This is +2. It also sets you up for the throw, as I mentioned in part 1. So off of the standing medium punch, when it counter hits, some characters you can actually. Am I there yet? Crouching medium punch, right? Crouching medium punch. Okay. But that's really it. That's really all there is to it. Crouching jab off of that +1. I don't think you're in throw range. And if you are, I'm not sure if you are. Let me see. You're +1. No, you're not in throw range. Crouching jab is the only thing. As far as I know. So yeah, that's crouching jab. +1 on block. Oh, jeez. How am I going to almost forget this? If crouching medium punch hits, this is a really big deal. I definitely can't forget that. This sequence is so good. You can confirm this crouching medium punch solo. You don't need counter it either. I'll demonstrate it briefly. I'm not gonna go. I did a video about this exercise. You can just go into random guard and only go into this if it hits, and then if it's blocked, you can practice going into the crouching jab. Very difficult to do, but it's absolutely. Well, I don't know if it's absolutely doable. Maybe not for everybody, but I would definitely look into this hit confirming exercise. Very valuable. But yeah, that is crouching medium punch. Is there anything else that I'm missing? I mean, you can do some target combos from it. It's not really that useful. And again, I still have counter it on. Yeah. So let's see. Crouching jab. We'll talk about crouching jab. If your opponent is blocking, you are +2. And that's why this standing medium punch is counter hitting. Now this depends on the opponent and their normal. Sometimes you have that counter hit pushback, and the second hit of this crouching hard punch will whiff. So you have other options here. You can do the slide from a counter hit standing medium punch, and you can do super. You can also walk up and do another standing medium punch. But this doesn't apply to all characters. It depends on if they're standing, if they're crouching, what normal they're using. It's going to cause different pushback, that kind of thing. So definitely case-by-case basis here. It's definitely easier on crouching opponents because they have that fatter hurt box. So yep, your other option here off of this crouching jab is to commit to the standing light punch and then confirm into the target combo. In the corner, if you get this knockdown, you can use hard punch Bushinsho, and it will trade with 3-frame characters, but with 4-frame characters, you'll cover both knockdowns. It's pretty good. The alternative for this knockdown is to dash up and hit standing light kick. That's really good. You don't actually need counter hit to confirm off of this. So in this case, if I do standing light kick, I don't need counter hit to do standing medium punch. does not. And normally this is not combo. Good. Really good stuff. And if they back recover, you want to do crouching hard punch to crush counter them, or kind of improvise, walk up throw, that kind of thing. I don't think you can slide or crouching roundhouse mirror. I don't think that works. Could be. I could be wrong. Nope. Okay. So yeah. Oh, I didn't talk about that other knockdown, the Bushinsho knockdown off of this. That's fine. We'll stick with the hit confirms. And, well, actually, that's really it. The crouching short is one more thing that I actually didn't write down that I should talk about. And you just basically go into crouching jab, light punch, horizontal. This has worked so often for me. Just dash up or off of an EX run here, like that kind of thing. -2, but you know what I like to say. -2, I'll show you. If it hits, it's good. If it hits, that's really good. Okay, so the next thing I'll talk about is the V reversals. I'm playing over in my head to make sure I got everything with young Zeku. I think that's like the important tools. There's some things like, you know, standing roundhouse, that kind of stuff. But I won't get into that just yet. So V reversals with Zeku and young Zeku are both very good. The only problem is the range for his V reversal, because these are all when you get the knockdown, when you're sure that this will knock them down, it's such a powerful tool. Because you have advantage. You have so much frame advantage. You have so much. Crouching hard punch, normal recovery will crush counter them if they do a normal recovery and 3 frame. That's so much. That's a lot. That hurts. And if they back recover, you can do like a manually timed crouching hard punch. But with young Zeku, I recommend doing a run stop. Getting the timing down for a run stop here. Wow, the game did the thing where it freezes for a few frames. Right? There we go. Run stop will set you up for a standing light kick, and then you can confirm off the counter hit there. Crouching hard punch on their back recovery. I should demonstrate it just for old time's sake. I should demonstrate it just to show. Get a crush counter there. And, we talked about that in the last video. What I recommend doing. That's really it as far as the V reversals. I mean, from there you want to do things like dash up throw, run stop throw, that kind of thing. Walk up throw, maybe an overhead perhaps. Okay, so we're gonna talk about ways to use his V skill, how to land it. I'm doing this on the fly because I didn't write anything down. Okay, so with old Zeku, this is where you're going to get the most different types of situations where you get the V skill. Let's see here. I'll talk about crush counter, crouching, hard punch first. This is one of the best ways for young Zeku to get your V skill. Because you hit them so high in the juggle state, you can actually get standing medium punch as immediate on their normal recovery. This is not usually how this works. I'll show that too. If I do a regular V skill, if it doesn't counter it, that's another thing in itself. If I do this and it doesn't counter it, if I dash up, I'm actually punishable. But if I do this crush counter, with a crouching hard punch, it'll launch them into the air, and it gives me more time to catch up to them on the ground. And I actually have +2 advantage if I do it quick enough. So my standing medium punch, instead of me being punished, I can actually have advantage there. So you can also work in throw. So this is a great way to get that V skill, if you can find the right situations for that crouching hard punch. Let's see. You also have EX Goku. That can go into the V skill, and then you have something like crouching hard punch. Oh god. Oh god. Oh man, making YouTube videos before I go to bed is the best. Jump in, crouching hard punch, medium kick techie, that'll go into the V skill, that's great. You also have in the corner, you can do light kick techie. Alright, you can do light kick techie. And that you can squeeze in a V skill, and that's pretty good. And I think that's about it. Yeah, EX Goku. That's about it. You get the hit confirm here with this. You can go into the V skill. So with young Zeku, it's pretty simple. It's just off of this medium punch Ozanto. You get the V skill from here. I do that very often. And you also have the standing hard punch. You can confirm into the V skill. Those are great ways to gain the V trigger meter, go into old Zeku, and you also have a meaty. From this, I think it's standing medium kick with old Zeku. If you do the side switch, it reduces the amount of advantage you have. So if I do standing medium kick there, it's actually the same. Wow, I thought that was one less. But yeah, it's between standing medium kick and standing medium punch for that normal recovery off of this V skill with young Zeku. I'm getting pretty good at navigating these words. Like all the different crouching and standing. I cringe when I watch my own YouTube videos and I say crouching medium punch, but it was a standing medium punch, that kind of thing. But in any case, That about wraps it up for V skills. We're gonna talk about crush counters, and then we're gonna talk about V trigger stuff, and then we're gonna call it. That'll be it for part 2. Actually, maybe I should stop now. It wouldn't be a bad idea, would it? That's not a bad idea. I can make a part 3. All right, yeah, that's it for now. I hope you learned something. Like and subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And thank you everybody for the amount of support I'm getting. I think this is a good project, doing this kind of thing full time. So I do appreciate the amount of appreciation that you guys give to me. So once again, I hope you learned something. I'm AutoMattock.